Welcome back to Roll for Recipe, the series where the dice are the head chef. I'll roll for some ingredients and then make a dish with them. Let's get rolling. Starting off as always with a D12 restriction roll. That's $3 store, the fan favorite. And another D12 for protein. That's 10 ground meat, and with dollar store, I'm pretty sure that's gonna just be frozen ground beef. Now a D10 for carb. That's 3 farro, a nice hearty grain. 2 D20 for seasonings. That's 8 for allspice and 15 for basil. Another 2 D20 for produce. That is 5 okra and 13 fennel. Dice have really loved fennel lately. And last but not least, a D100 wild magic roll. That is 45 for Monster Energy Drink. And here's the summary of everything that we rolled, so let's get cooking. So I've said it a couple times in the comments, this season's ingredient lists just feel like they've been way more unhinged. Fennel, monster, okra, allspice, complemented by only dollar store ingredients just definitely is not normal. First step is gonna be to saute the fennel and okra and let that sit for a while, try to caramelize it as much as possible. While that cooks, I'll start cooking the farro in some beef broth and also start the sauce. I'm gonna be using Monster Mango Loco as the base and kind of trying to riff off like an orange chicken type sauce by adding some soy sauce, garlic, and cayenne pepper to it. Gonna add the basil and allspice to the veggies, and there's also chili powder at the dollar store, so I'll add some of that as well. And like I said before, frozen ground beef is basically the only option at the dollar store for ground meat, unless I want to get maybe like a pre-cooked canned chili or something might work. Add some cornstarch and beef broth at the end of cooking and reduce that to get a nice, thick, saucy like beef mixture. Then put some of that on the farro, drizzle some sauce in there, and add fennel tops for garnish. All right, let's just pray all these flavors actually work together. Bon appetit. So none of the flavors are really popping out here. Nothing's really terrible, it's just nothing is coming through as like the main flavor. I do taste the fennel, but it's significantly more muted than the last time we had it. So the sauce isn't quite as good as an orange chicken sauce, and it is a little bit drowned out here. With that said, I think it actually is pretty decent for what we had to work with. All right, I'm gonna give this one a 6.5 out of 10, and I'm gonna call it Alchemy on a Budget. I think ingredient-wise, this is one of the stranger dishes we've made, and I'm kind of surprised it didn't just totally flop. But like I said, none of the flavors tasted bad together, and I still think maybe that mango fennel allspice combo kind of worked, but I think it just wasn't coming through very strongly, so it was hard to tell. As always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, follow, and share, and I'll see you next time.